Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just checking in with you. I've been back from vacation about a week now, but I'm just catching up to a bunch of stuff. I had a great time. I went to Germany, I went to Denmark, and I went to Sweden for a day. It was great, and I'm happy to be back in America. I just wanted to talk about that situation with the German guy that I met. It was so funny because like how sometimes you just feel like you're guided to a place. So I was at the airport. We were getting ready to leave for Denmark, and I was hungry, and I was gonna go to this restaurant that was at the airport. And it was a choice between going to the restaurant and going to a bratwurst stand. And I was like, I could go to this restaurant or I could go to this bratwurst stand. And for some reason, I felt like I was guided to go to this bratwurst stand. So as I'm ordering the bratwurst, and I'm asking the guy if he takes cards, or I think I had a few euros left, but I didn't. I was just trying to see what the cash situation was, and then he found out I was American, and he's like, "Oh, so you're American?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So what do you think of your crazy president?" And I said, "I like him." And he said, "I do too." And we high-fived each other, and he's in the truck and he's standing behind this counter. We just start talking, and I thought it was really smart the way he phrased the question. And I don't remember if I got this on the interview, but I asked him, before I even asked to interview him, I was like, "So what is your response usually when you ask that question?" He's like, "Yeah," he goes, "mostly white people don't they flip out." He goes, "If I've seen any other people, that aren't white," he goes, "they don't really have an issue with him." And I was like, "That's really interesting." I think I did get that in the interview. So anyway, so I'm eating the bratwurst with some fries, and I was like, should I interview him? I don't know. He's at work. He might not want to be political. He might be offended. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to just ask him anyway. So I was like, "Hey, I have this YouTube channel. Would you be interested in being interviewed?" He was like, "Yeah." He came down off. I was imagining that I was just going to have my camera up and hold it up to him while he's behind working. He came down off the outside of the food truck. He was dusting his apron off. He was ready to go before I even asked him. He was so excited, and it was very exciting for me because honestly, the whole time I was there, I was I saw a lot of signs of just SJW drama there, and I was like, can I live here? Somebody was saying that teachers get paid really well in Germany, and and I was like, should I go to Germany because teachers get paid really well there, but then I thought I'd be a part of the brainwashing process. I have a crap ton of teaching experience, so I was just and I ran into this one guy. He was like, "Yeah, they're always looking for teachers." And then I had another friend of mine was saying that homeschooling is illegal there. I was like, "Yep, yeah, I don't think that Germany is a place for me." They're so, and I think I mentioned this in an interview, it seems like, and if there are Germans watching this, please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just my observation, but it seems like it's a largely academic culture that people really, really put a lot of emphasis and importance in certification and academics. And I'm not saying that's not important, but from my point of view, the academic program has been so corrupted that I don't have any faith in it anymore. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean that you're a smart or intelligent person. And even so much so, I even know that, I considered working for one of these places, by the way. I didn't, but, they have places online where you can pay people to write your papers for you in college, so you're like, "Hey, I'm writing a paper on sharks. Who can do it?" And you go to this forum and you write it on, and write what you want your paper on. You write whether it's undergraduate or graduate level, and then then there are people that will bid on your on your report. So they'll be like, I can do it for $30 an hour. I can do it for $20 an hour. I can do it for $13 an hour. And usually if you're starting off, you bid lower. But if you have a lot of experience and you get a lot of good reviews, you can charge higher, right? And then you rate the person after they're done writing your paper, basically. But it's weird. I even had a cousin who's one of the smartest people I've ever known. Actually, she was writing someone's dissertation for them. She was getting paid to write their dissertation. So that just goes to show you how if you have money, you can buy pretty much anything. And then now you have these, celebrities going to jail for college scams. A lot of these people in these large universities are, what am I trying to say? They're in because they know somebody, right? Like they were born into the right family. They have a lot of money to buy their way in. And then on top of that, there's this really cool guy. I'm gonna see if I can have him on in the future. His name is Shiva. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. Ayudare. He's running for a position in, God, I forgot. Anyway, I'm going to talk more about him because he's fascinating. He's Indian, of Indian descent. He's American, but he's Indian. And he's just like, he's one of the few people, even on the conservative side, that I would say is just ripping the whole institution of science apart and talking about how it's been corrupted, about how people, how you buy studies and, manipulate data and buy peer review and all this stuff, right? And how, they do PR and how they just, cut out any other sciences that have dissenting points of views and how they don't want to have debates. So just going all through that, like I'm thinking that Germany is like this. It seems like it's very much academically based, and that makes a huge foundation for brainwashing, which I see through a lot of the SJW stuff that's going on there. And Berlin was very integrated. I went to Leipzig, Dresden, Neuschwanstein. I'm not saying that right, but that's where the Neuschwanstein Castle is. Where else did I go? Germany is huge and is great, and the people are great. But usually I travel a lot, and a lot of times I'm, some of the places I go, I'm like the only black person there, and I get stares, and I'm over it. It doesn't really bother me. I just know that people don't really see black people. I don't take offense to it. But when I was in Germany, people were coming up to me speaking German. Like, I was like, what? Like, that's how integrated it is? I'm like, if you think I'm one of you, then you've been around black people. You've been integrated for a while. So, and I'd be like, English, sprechen Sie English? And they'd be like, oh, so, very fascinating. I think a lot of people probably have been cowered into silence. I think a lot of people, because of World War II and the whole propaganda piece on the Nazi, there's a lot of white guilt in Germany because of that. And then to counter that, to act that, there probably is a lot of, white supremacy because of it too. Just one extreme creates the other extreme, right? But I saw a lot of purple, blue, and pink colored women, pink hair color. And it's funny. And I like hair. I like messing with hair. I like hair colors. I like hair extensions. I like hair. To me, it's an art. My cousin and I, we messed with hair since I was young. My best friend's ex-girlfriend, who I still adore, like, she does hair, and we just, like, I like hair. I like it. But it's just interesting now that because of the times that we live in, colored hair has become that, especially those colors like blue, kind of rainbow colored, or pink hair has become a symbol of SJW nonsense. So it's like when I was around those people, I just kind of like watch what I said because, or I felt like I had to be a little bit on the lookout, and I'm sure there are exceptions, but for the most part, a lot of these people, I know I'm being, I'm categorizing people, but I'm just saying, tend to be like angry ass feminists, right? And just angry people. I went to the Brandenburger Gate and by the Reichstag, and there was a huge rally there, and they were waving like the gay flag and the Antifa flag and all this. I was like, holy shit, like how did they come to Germany? So anyway, to meet that guy was really refreshing, because in my mind too, I kept thinking, if I wanted to come back, who am I gonna hang out with? I don't want to hang out with any of these people. A lot of the people that we did meet, they kind of had, talk to, they were friendly, but they had that SJW vibe. And I was like, if I'm gonna go to a foreign country, I don't want to hang around these people, because I don't know if you've ever experienced being in a foreign country when you don't know the language or the culture or the directions that well, but it gets very, isolating and very scary, because you can be trapped in one place and then you make friends with these people and they find out your political point of view and they just dump you or attack you. You don't really have any recourse. You're just kind of stuck there, right? So if I do go back, I want to make sure that I have a safe space, that I'm around people that they don't necessarily have to agree with me, but they're not going to like go psycho on me if they find out my viewpoints on certain things. So it just seems like a lot of people too, they're not really, they don't really question things. They don't really go outside the box. There are people that do, I know, but I'm just saying, like, as far as academics are concerned, I can see the brainwashing that's done through the academic system, basically, especially since homeschooling is illegal. Like, think about that. You have to send your kid to indoctrination camps. You have to send them. There's no way you can go to jail for doing it. There's something wrong in the state of, I almost said Denmark. Something's rotten in the state of Denmark, but something's rotten in the country of Germany, if that's the case. Very creepy, right? So anyway, I don't know if I'll be making a lot of videos this week, but Wednesday, if you're familiar with the channel American Joe, he's going to be doing a fundraiser. He has this amazing, really well thought out, organized plan to go to the border with security teams and make sure they get satellite connections and they have, equipment and everything to go down to the border and actually do some man on the street, real reporting. He needs a lot of money to do that, but you check his website and stuff out. He's like solid. He has everything planned out. I was like, dang, can I hire you to organize for me? Like, it's like organized. So I'm going to be broadcasting it on my channel next week. I have to work, so I won't be on the podcast the whole time, but what I'm going to do, I'm also going to be able to like pop in for 30 minutes and give my thoughts on the border crisis and how it affects me and stuff like that. So that's going to be Wednesday. So I think I signed up for 2:30 Eastern time, which will be 1:30 Central time. I think that's about right. I'll probably make a video before that, or either just write in the comments to let you know for sure, just to make double check. But anyway, that's it, you guys. Thanks for all the support, and talk to you soon. Peace, love, bye bye.